Have you ever had something later in the day and suddenly your entire day becomes unusable? You can't start anything, you can't relax, you just hover like a human loading screen. For most of my life, I thought this was just a personal failure. Like, why can't I just do stuff before an appointment? Why does one event wipe out my entire day? But it turns out this is actually a really common neurodivergent experience. It even has a name. So tonight I have a formal awards dinner. Real estate people, fancy clothes, small talk, the whole thing. And all day my brain has been doing absolutely nothing. Not because I don't want to, not because I'm lazy, I hope, but because my brain is already at the dinner. It's running simulations like, what will I wear? What if I say something weird, which you know is going to happen? Where do I stand? What if I don't know anyone? God, my small talk game is not good. How long will it last? And when can I leave without looking rude? Meanwhile, the rest of my day is just frozen. If you're autistic, ADHD, or both, this is often called waiting mode. And no, it's not a character flaw. Neurodivergent brains often have differences in something called executive function. That's the system in your brain that handles things like planning, time awareness, switching between tasks, and starting and stopping activities. And when executive function works differently, one upcoming event can take over the entire mental landscape. So instead of thinking, I have 6 free hours before this thing, your brain thinks, there is a thing. Everything revolves around the thing. We must prepare for the thing. By the way, that's my brain voice. A lot of neurodivergent people also struggle with time awareness or time blindness. So instead of time feeling flexible and spacious, it can feel rigid or mysterious, like you might misjudge it, or get stuck in something and be late, or lose track of time completely. So your brain does the safest thing that it knows. It just waits. And this is what people call waiting mode. It's when you have an appointment or event later, and your brain basically refuses to start anything else. It's not because you don't care. It's not because you're unmotivated, and God, it's not because you're lazy. Please, if you hear anything from this video and you remember anything from it, remember that. It's not because you're lazy. It's because your mental energy is already reserved. And if the event is social or unfamiliar or formal, now your brain adds another layer. It starts running social simulations, practicing conversations, imagining awkward moments, because you know there's going to be a lot of them, and rehearsing exits. Because for a lot of autistic people, uncertainty isn't just uncomfortable, it's exhausting. So if you've ever had a day where you thought, why am I doing nothing? And why can't I just start something and get in the mode? It might not be laziness. In fact, it's probably not. It might be your brain is saying, we have an event later. We need to conserve energy. We need to prepare. We need to stay available. And honestly, when you look at it that way, it's not a broken system. It's just a very cautious one. Here's the thing. Neurotypical brains are like, I have dinner at 7. I'll just live my life until then. Neurodivergent brains are like, it is now dinner day. All activities are suspended until further notice. Understanding this changed the way I look at my days. Now, if I have something big coming up, I don't expect myself to be wildly productive. I give myself a little grace, and I treat it almost as if it was a pre-event day back from my coaching figure skating days. So gentle tasks, low pressure, and a lot of energy conservation. Because sometimes your brain isn't stuck. It's preparing.